Hello everyone, my name is Michael and I'm speaking to you from the verse. Now if you're not sure what the verse is, I encourage you to go to my website at rewritingtheverse.com, and that's where you'll find out all about the verse. It includes several written updates, and all of the YouTube channel videos are on there as well. So I encourage you to go back and check out some of my past ones from various times and places. I am a past life regressionist and a rewriter, which means I have the ability, once I review a past life, I have the ability to actually go in and change the outcomes to a higher version. And with these videos, I've been using specifically twin flame and divine masculine, divine feminine timelines to help raise our vibrations and help us ascend up through these ascension portals. The one coming up on 8/8/2020, also known as the Lion's Gate, is indeed an ascension portal. And this video, this short highlights video, is connected specifically to that portal. I also, I'm going to attach the link to the full-length video where I definitely spelled out in detail the past life regression that I did just tonight, connected to that portal, and rewrote on that video live so people could go through it with me to see what was going to happen. And the link to that video will be below. And I really encourage you to go check out that, and so you can really get the full experience of this type of work. And again, to see live how the rewrite went. But this video is specifically a highlights video, so I'm not going to talk too much about the actual past life, although it was about 800 years ago, so 1200 AD, and it occurred somewhere over in Europe where we now know as Hungary. It's in that region of the world. And yes, this was about a twin flame couple and their meeting and how it went. And as usual, things do not go that well in these. That's why they need to be healed, right? And so our twin flames have a pretty tragic ending in that one, in the original version, but again, we did rewrite it. And so the highlights I can say after rewriting it, what we saw in the original version was these two twin flames coming together with very, well, similar ideals, but very opposite ways of how they lived out and interacted in the world was opposite, basically. They were both about bettering the world and bettering mankind and bringing justice. Very different approaches in how to do that. Had them in the past life regression meet head on. And it was a very brief interaction and a very, well, deadly interaction. And it was a moment that in the first version was well missed for those two twin flames to come together very powerfully. They would have made a huge impact, and in the rewrite they do. They do go on and are even better together, exponentially better together than they were by themselves. They just needed to end up going in the same direction. So when the rewrite was done, I realized that that's what's happening on the planet right now. This Lion's Gate, this 8/8/2020 portal, this is, not just any 8/8 gate either. I've been feeling this one for a couple months, even before the 7/7 portal that I did a video on, so go check that out. But even before that one, I could feel this energy rising and rising, and more things coming in even in these last few weeks to support that this is off the charts energy. And my knowledge is that there is a huge wave of divine feminines, divine masculines, and or twin flames coming into union right now. So whether you already know that person or you're even in a relationship with them, right now it's a time of that getting an upgrade. And if you're in separation, again, this is the opportunity for people to come together, because we're finally having this happen, where we're actually facing the same direction, and it's no longer two different ideals. We're already, when we come together fully, we'll be able to walk together in power and get out there and whatever. There's usually a mission involved, especially with divine unions like this. There's a mission involved, and it really is designed for both of them to be an equal part in it. So yes, I'm sure you can go, if you don't end up with your twin flame or your divine counterpart, well, you can still go out there and make a difference. But I know that there's more than one reason for the unions to happen. It's not just about love, especially if it's a romantic, counterpart. Yes, love is available, the most profound love that ever is. And I'm not even just talking the romantic part of it. Absolutely available. And you can't really experience this with anybody else in this way. But the mission part is also why we're here. And so there's a calling that's been going out, well, I would say, I've known about it for a year. But man, right now, the horns are blaring right now for everybody to move in. Find your people. And yes, your other people in your soul group are also being called in too, because whoever you're going to go into this mission with, it's probably not just going to be your other counterpart. There's usually larger groups involved. So yes, I've seen that even in my life right now in this last, especially since the beginning of July for me. All of a sudden, boom, here comes new opportunities, new groups of people, and yet all my abilities for the past life regressions have shown this group to be, oh yeah, it was that group I was in that life. Oh yeah, oh well, okay. I know now that this new group that I'm involved with, these are definitely people that have been with me in those significant lifetimes, and probably less significant ones, but definitely the ones where we come in when there are paradigm shifts and major things happening where this is what we do best. So they have been showing themselves, especially since the beginning of July. And that also means to me that the key person, my other half, my twin, is about to show up finally physically as well. Do I know who that is? Yes, I do. But it's going how it's going. I know a big part of it is timing, and there's also free will involved, by the way. If you're waiting for somebody to come in or whatever, vice versa, there's still always free will for them to choose a different path. So one thing I do know is you can't just sit around and wait for that person to figure out what you're going to do next. You have to start walking down the path, and if they're meant to be with you on it, they will show up on the path with you, or they won't. So I'm moving down the path, and really, it's really clear that I've got this extended soul group coming in, because it's time. And this 8-8 portal is a big, big part of this shift into what's next. And the vibrations are just getting higher and higher. The frequencies are getting higher and higher. And I guarantee you what I just did with that rewrite, another barrier, or actually probably the last barrier, maybe, the big one anyway, that was between us and our counterparts. What I saw in that rewrite was the biggest barrier wasn't even outside circumstances. It was this point right here. That was the barrier. We were meeting each other like this and going, this isn't working. Or literally just bounce off each other, right? Because there was no room to get past that barrier. Well, now that we're now getting to this position, now there's touching. There's no barrier here. So we and our own personal issues and their personal issues were the final and maybe the biggest barrier of all, and the last to fall. But it's time. Now we can make choices to be together. So it's a very powerful time, a very powerful portal. I'm sure if you're aware of energies at all, you have felt this, that something big is coming in a positive way, despite all that's going on in the world. It's amazing. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, the link to the full-length video is below. I really encourage you to go watch that. And until next time, peace and joy.